Hello, hi. On Artemis 2, on NASA's Artemis 2 future mission, small ships with astronaut cells will fly with the crew around the moon. The NASA science mission study how deep space affects human tissue so we can protect astronauts' health on future missions to the moon and Mars. Okay, getting into the details. Avatar, a virtual astronaut tissue analog response that is called as Avatar, AVATAR. A small experiment flying aboard Artemis 2 that could lead to big impacts in healthcare, both for astronauts in space and citizens on Earth. The Avatar, a virtual astronaut tissue analog response investigation will use organ-on-a-chip device or organ chips to study the effects of increased radiation and microgravity on human health. NASA's organ chip research will study how different space stressors affect tissue before sending the first humans to Mars. It could provide valuable information for developing measures to protect astronaut health on their journeys, such as personalized medical kits. Avatar is collaboration between NASA, multiple government agencies, and industry partners that seeks to gain a deeper understanding of human biology and disease prevention measures and personalized therapeutic treatments. For NASA, these organ chips could provide vital data for protecting astronaut health on deep space missions. What are organ chips? Organ chips are roughly the size of USB drive and could be used to predict how an individual might respond to a variety of stressors such as radiation or medical treatments, including pharmaceuticals. Made with human cells, the chips mimic how tissues such as the brain, heart, liver, or dozens of other organs work. NASA research will focus on validating and leveraging these models to assess the impact of these space stressors on astronauts' health. Organ chips could help ensure crew health on long-duration missions by determining individualized responses to deep space stressors and personalizing medical kits to future astronauts. This research, combined with other studies on the health and performance of the Artemis 2 astronauts, will give NASA insights into how to protect astronauts as exploration expands to the surface of Moon, Mars, and beyond. Okay, why we study the bone marrow? Why NASA is studying the bone marrow. The Avatar organ chips will contain bone marrow tissue developed from the cells of Artemis 2 astronauts. Bone marrow is responsible for producing red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. This makes marrow an ideal sample for diagnosing diseases and gauging how a person's immune system responds to treatments. Investigating how radiation affects the bone marrow can provide insights into how radiation therapy and other DNA damaging agents such as chemotherapeutics drugs impair blood cells formation. Its significance for both spaceflight and medicine on Earth makes the bone marrow an ideal organ to study in Artemis 2 Avatar project. When the organ chips return from their Artemis flight, researchers will examine how spaceflight affected the bone marrow chips by performing single-cell RNA sequencing, a powerful technique that measures how thousands of genes change within individual cells. For NASA, this research could provide critical information about how each astronaut responds to the unique conditions of the space and inform the development of countermeasures and personalized medical kits for future missions. For other governmental agencies and health organizations, Avatar could contribute to advances in safer and faster drug testing, personalized medicines on Earth. Okay, you can have a look at the video now. Have a nice day. Thank you.
This is cutting edge. This is going to revolutionize medicine, not just on Earth, but for us in space. The experiment that we have flying in Artemis 2, I'm really incredibly excited about. It's a tissue chip model that we call Avatar. What it is you can see inside there are these tiny channels, and we populate those with cells that we take from the astronauts themselves that we can compare directly to them. We can take a drop of blood and convert it to cells that can make any type of organ within the human body. As we send this out to deep space, it will allow us to really start to understand the effect of deep space environment on our astronauts. We're looking at sustainable presence. We need to be able to take care of humans while they live and work in space. These tissue chips are going to allow us to understand that before we get to the point where we want to send humans for years at a time. This science has so much incredible capability on Earth or in space. This stuff is huge. It's going to be game-changing for NASA and for medicine on Earth and then beyond.